Guys, hi, welcome back. I'm back again, at least I hope so. It's been a hot minute since my last recording, but I hope I'm back. Since so many asked you in the last weeks, months even, I'm currently battling one of the worst coloring blocks I ever experienced. But that's my try of getting back into it. Some of you that follow my Instagram may have seen me coloring one or two and finishing a few whips that I had, but it's still hard for me. So I thought, why not try this to come back and see what happens? And since we go into spooky season, I thought, why not coloring a Halloween page? And of course, me being me, a simple one is just not the way to go, I guess. So of course I decided on a double page in this cute book. I think it's called The Life of Precious Cats by Nelco Neco. And of course I didn't mark it once again. I'm absolutely completely organized today. Um, since the decision to record came about 10 minutes ago. So don't expect anything very organized today. And this is the page I would like to try. My thought process actually was there are quite big spaces and I hope to get through it quite fast. I hope so. I'm not sure if it will work out. And in this case, since I said I'm in a color block actually, I will work with, or I actually looked up some color combinations because my brain doesn't work coloring wise. I have a page next to me that I'm battling with and I'm not really happy with my color choices, but we will get through it. So I was looking for a few um, color schemes on Pinterest and I want to go to the little purple and green area. So, I mean, what other to look for if not Nightmare Before Christmas and Beetlejuice, right? So, I have a few for these ones. I thought for the house or stuff like that, just to keep my brain going. So, these are the colors I want to use. We will see how it works. And just to save me a little bit of time, because I have the feeling when I start with only pencil, it would take me too long and then I probably might lose the mood again. So, therefore, we go with my beloved Derwent inktense. And no, I haven't upgraded to the full 100 set, so I didn't purchase the new colors yet. I don't know. Just simply because I wasn't feeling coloring and stuff like that, and I felt it was unnecessary to purchase these when I won't use them anyway, so therefore I don't have them. But anyway, so where do I want to start? So that's already the first tackle. So bear with me today. It's gonna be a little bit all over the place today because, like I said, my brain is still not in the coloring mood and it's a little bit forced today. But like I said, that's my way to try to get back into it. Um, I think this will be my first um, reference, maybe to use actually to for the purple for the trees maybe. I mean, pretty much everything on this picture is purple, so yeah, let's see how this goes. For colors for the cats, I mean, it's obviously white, a little bit beigey, sure, a pumpkin. For this one, I haven't decided yet. I mean, I want a black hat, I think. and maybe a black dress, but the cloak, not sure. Maybe dark red or also purple, but I think that I will lose it in the anyway, let's just keep searching for our colors here. So I think dark purple is a good one to start. Also, I hope it's bright enough. Right now I don't have any lights on, but I feel the lights, or the lamps actually, just change the colors a little too much. So dark purple. Okay, what else? Deep violet. I'm just trying to match these. Burnt orange. They actually fit quite good. Here you can see what happens if you use the brush on your pencil directly. So very pointy tip. It will break immediately. What else? Yeah. Gold, no? Sienna gold? Sienna gold. Sienna gold. And the last one. Well, they match like they were made of for Derwent inktense. That's quite funny. Sicilian yellow. Okay, I think I will also go with these colors for the moon, since here is a moon. Now I had to look for it. So I was expecting it right here, but there. So, yeah. Oh, black. Although I don't know if I will use much black on this one. It's pretty heavy, but let's bring it out either way. Okay. Wait a minute. What's going on? I have 5 colors here and I have 6 pencils. I think I have 2 purples, right? Deep violet. Yeah, I have 2 purples, but it's okay. Also, actually, I can't start with the moon yet, because when I was trying to get back, I used gouache paint on another painting, and maybe you can guess what color I used. And I can't get it off the brush anymore. So if you use these kinds of brushes, these water tank brushes, don't do it with gouache paint. Don't do it, because they will soak into here and you can't get rid for God's sake of the blue color. It's still stuck in there. I washed it, I think 3 times with special brush soap. It still is slightly blue, and I hate it, because that's one of my favorite water tank brushes, and now it's kind of ruined. But anyway, I hope when I finished a little bit of the trees and all the purpley stuff where you can't see the blue tint too bad, I hope that it's worn out by then. What do I need? 1 second. Also, I hope that I don't get my head too much in the way. So I think I will start on this side. So let me bring you a little closer so you can maybe even see a little bit. Also, I changed the setup of my desk right now, so I don't have that much space anymore to move, because now the monitor is there instead of there. It's more comfortable for me, but more unpractical. Okay, so let's start with the trees, and I will do it like this. I don't want to try to invent something new. My brain would not work with that at this time. So dark purple was my deepest color. So for this one I will try to lay it down a little bit more on this side, because here is the moon, and hopefully when my brush loses its blue faint, then I will be able to try to lay a little bit of a glow on this side. So therefore, let's whoop. Already too heavy-handed. Great. Starting off strong. So yeah. Anyway, so how were your last months going? So mine were crazy. Let me say, personal health, physically, mentally, in any way, can be an absolute at least mine was. Also, people take stress seriously. Stress is bad, really bad, especially if you ignore it until your body says, okay, honey, we don't ignore it anymore. I have enough. Because then it's throwing some really funny tantrums until you listen to it, and it's taking a lot of time to recover. So take care of yourself, guys. Otherwise, it's not funny. Then switch to deep violet. Just mix it in the middle, because I want to get it lighter on this side. Let me bring it even deeper, because you can barely see anything, right? Did I have my hat in the way? No. A little bit. Okay. Let's try not to do this. And I'm starting very light, because at this point I'm away from coloring for that long that I have the feeling I have to learn it again. So I'm starting quite light. Although when I know when I dissolve this, it's gonna be pretty dark, because of the pigment is very strong in these colors. But yeah, let's see how it goes. And I'm not adding the black for now. And here, just on the bottom part, because on the top I want it to be a little glowy. Back to the darker purple. And we will see how far it goes. So my plan for this one, I actually said it in another video that I recorded weeks ago, I think probably even months ago, that I haven't uploaded yet. So you didn't miss anything, just in case this video comes up anytime. Don't be confused that I repeat myself. But if you see this video that you're watching right now, that means this page, or this double page, is actually finished, because I will only upload this part, and the other parts, how much there will be, don't know, if I complete this whole double page. So if you see this, cheer up! The rest is coming. It's finished, it's done. I hope to finish it in time, although it's the 16th of October right now, so not that much time, although it sounds like much time, but it doesn't feel like that. But yeah, when you see this, it's finished. Okay, let's just jump to the brush and see what we have here. Also, I completely messed up the tip of this brush. It's frizzing out, and I I was almost crying when I realized that I messed it up. Okay, let's see. As you can see, although I laid down the pencil pretty light, it's getting quite dark. So there goes the plan on the glow on one side. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. Great, starting off great. But well, don't expect this to be a masterpiece. I feel when you make a long break in between, at least for me, I have the feeling that I always have to relearn the stuff. So, okay, just wet the edge a little bit. And then try to push it in the other way. So away from the side that I want to be lighter. Works better. And I also I'll clean up my brush in between to get rid of the excess pigment so I can go back to the lighter areas without getting them too dark. And when I look at the camera, it's way lighter than it is in real life. So there's more pigment on it in real life, I can tell you that. But that was an issue that I saw happening before, and I still haven't figured out how to solve this. I already played with the settings, but when I had the brightness right, or the richness, then the colors looked completely different. So it's the one or the other, but it's never right. So bear with me. Also, as you can see, I'm super accurate. Not. That's also a thing that happened in the last weeks, why I just didn't enjoy coloring that much. I know some of you struggle with this too, so my hands were getting very shaky, and I'm not sure why. But I will get through this somehow. Maybe it fixes himself anytime. Hopefully. If not, then, well, then not. I don't know. I think it would bother me more when I would sculpt, because I sculpted before I came to coloring figurines and stuff. And there, when you work on very tiny details, then you can't have a shaky hand, but I think for coloring I should be okay somehow. So yeah, when it's just a little bit more messy than you are used to it from my colorings, then that's why. I am too. But it is what it is. But if it's really bad, then we can just cover it with white pencil or white paint or whatever. Okay, I think like that. Let's jump to the big one. So this can dry. Dark purple. Let me get, just to protect what's going on under there. Oops. Yeah, that's why. Eh. I know so many people complain about coloring in the spine, but on this side I find it even harder. Or these edges. I mean, yes, I know people don't break their spines and stuff. That I don't care. I mean, there are so many people at this point that are taking their books apart and ring bound it and stuff, or ring bind it and stuff like that. So, I mean, there are ways to work around the spine, but the edges, eh, that's my part that I don't like. I don't care about the spine, really. And if there's a white line, then so it be, but um, the edges are always messy on my pages. Always. And if I forget to use a protection sheet, my whole desk is colored. But with a sharp, nice edge. I go a little deeper on here. So then deep violet again. And I really hope my plan about the a little bigger spaces to get through it a little quicker works out. I'm not sure yet. Because I have colored 2 double pages in this book already, and they took forever. I mean, one was quite fast, one that I colored for last year's Christmas time around. That was okay, but the first double page took absolutely forever. I think even about a year, somewhat. Let me check. Let me see. No, that's a single page. That's the double page. Give me a second. That's the double page. From August 21 till April 22. So almost a year. And the second one for Christmas last year was not too bad. November 26th till December 5th. So that was okay. That was not too bad. But the first one, oh, holy crap. I was first thinking on this one, but I was actually scared because of my brain not working, because I really love this page, but I was scared to mess it up, color choosing wise and stuff. So I found this one, although it's much bigger, but somehow I felt it was easier. I don't know. Also, the first thing that I had to do was updating all my devices and all my programs before I could start, because I haven't used them so long. It was all outdated, and please update me. I'm old. So it wasn't just turn the computer on and start from there. No. So that's not how that works. So yeah, so another thing that I tried to get back in the mood was actually finishing some old whips, some very old whips. First of all, because I thought it would be less work, so I could accomplish more in a quicker way. Ha ha ha. No, that's not how that works. Because if you, or at least for me, when you jump into a very old whip, and I started one of my oldest whips, um, and when you've colored multiple years in between, so like I did, and then come back to a very old whip. That's a good thing. You can see how much you learned over the time. So that's something I really liked. That's something that gave me confidence to get up or get back to that page. Um, but you see so many flaws in your coloring from back then where you think, no, and I have to rework that. And the whip that I started again, maybe some of you have seen it. It was the Battle Horse and the Knight in Hannah Carlson's Spirit Animals or Soulmates. The same book, just different title. I basically colored the whole double page again. So yeah, so much too. It goes faster. Yeah, I recolored everything over, and I really like how it turned out at the end, and I really loved how much I could make it better than what I did back then. I think this was also almost 2 years old at this point. So a 2-year-old whip. I really like how it turned out, and I could really see how much I improved over the years. Just simply because I use way more colors. I go way deeper and brighter with my colors now that I did back then. Also back then I did not use mixed media, so only pencil or only whatever, mainly pencil because I didn't have anything else back then. And really the combination of multiple media gives so much to the pages and helps them so much. It's great to see, but it was a piece of work, let me tell you. Just simply because I thought, and I really liked the decision that I made that back then, that I wanted the horse to be white, and I think white is one of the hardest colors, or yeah, one of the hardest colors to color, because you're basically just working with shadows, and this horse has a lot of hair, a lot of mane, a lot of everything, and it was driving me crazy. Although also back then I thought it would be a great idea to color all the black lines or cover all the black lines with, I think it was white gouache paint, and I used too much. So I used the paint too thick, and it changed the whole surface of the page to it felt like sandpaper. I don't know what I did back then, but I did use it incorrectly somehow. So that was also a fun part to work around that. Pro tip here, Prismas. Use Prismacolor and smudge them in like crazy. For real, I think there's such a thick waxy layer on it right now, just to close all these little rough areas and then work over. So yeah, that was fun, I guess. No, it wasn't, but well, it worked. But I'm very glad, now that I think about it, I can't see the blue hint. I hope my brush recovered at this point. I really hope. Dark purple is the darker one. So I'm just going over the trees real quick, and I think at one point when you see me lay down all this stuff, at one point then we will jump to pencils, and when you see what I was doing, I will just pause the video and then color the rest and then come back to you, because otherwise we will have a lot of parts for this. I know some of you guys love this, but always remember at this point I have to get myself back. So I don't know if this page will survive if we have too much parts at the end. So when I'm back into it, then we can talk about the 15 part colorings again. But right now, I think I want to just finish this page at one point fully. But I can already say that I really want to color this page, so that's already a good sign. So I'm really excited to color this page. I love this book really much, and I color way too less in it. But yes, so maybe that's a good sign that I'm really excited to color in it. So yeah, fingers crossed. Like I say, if you see this, then it worked. If you see this, then it's finished and it's done, and then we can take it from there and see what we will do next. Also, when I flipped through my books during the time I didn't want to color anything, I constantly flipped through my books anyway, just to find that one page that was jumping to me like, color me, please color me. And for a long time, no page did it. They were all lazy as heck, until the horse came to the rescue somehow. And then I stumbled over one mythographic page where I thought back then it would be a great idea, because I smudged black paint all over it, to do the page in all acrylics. Let me tell you, I hate this page so much. I love how it comes out, but I hate to color it. I almost tried to finish that one instead of the horse. But I know now that then I would not be back at coloring at this point, because I don't like the process. But I will finish it at some point, because actually there's not much to do left, but bringing out all the acrylic paints again and all the brushes and set it up, and then try to mix the colors that I used back then that I can't remember. By the life of me, no, I have no idea what I did back then. So even get back to that coloring will take a while. It looks good, don't get me wrong, I don't hate how it turns out, really. But I would absolutely suggest you not doing this. I will also not do this ever again. If I smudge black paint over a page again, then it's just lost. That's it. Or I will do it black and white only. I don't know, but oof. If you take one advice from my side, just one, then don't do a coloring page in a coloring book with only acrylics. No. Big no. If there's nothing else I could give you as an advice, then please take that one. I mean, it's a challenge. If you're looking for a challenge, then go for it, but don't say I didn't warn you afterwards. Now we are getting messy. I'm sorry if it looks in the meantime or in between as I would rush through it, then maybe it's because it is. Maybe because I am rushing a tiny bit, maybe. Because I'm so afraid that I lose it again and then I will not able to finish this. But so color block is really the worst when you're actually enjoying colorings. Then color blocks are really terrible. But one thing I learned, they come back. Or the mojo will come back eventually. And if it takes too long, then try to force it. Sometimes it works, and sometimes you will create pages that you really hate, but at least you colored something. Right? Right. Yes. The edges. The edges. How can people do that? Oh, and by the way, I really, 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 really want to thank you at this point because I checked my following numbers on my YouTube channel. And although I just didn't upload anything, so much of you stick to me and stayed with me and didn't leave me, and I'm really, really thank you for that. And I almost cried when I saw that not that much changed. Really, really thank you from my heart for this. To bear with me, to wait for me, even ask for me. That was so cute from you. Thank you so much. And yeah, I hope that I can come back again and once again bring you more videos that you seem to enjoy. It's really great. So yeah, we hope. Maybe spooky season is the season for me to come back. I was also thinking about a horror picture. I already saw one that I could do, but yeah, this one won. So, like I said, on camera it looks really bright, but it's not that bright in real life. So maybe now you can't see barely anything, but give me a minute till we activate these colors. And I really like how messy you can be with the Derwent. Although we have to recolor everything later on with pencils. I know that. Because we are working that messy. But for me, that's just the base, as always. I mean, if you have seen my other coloring videos, then you know that I'm working with the base color always. First of all, to give me an idea where to put which color and to get a feeling for the whole page, how it will look at the end, and then I go to the tiny details, little details afterwards. Now I realize that I made a huge mistake, idiot. Actually, I wanted a glow here from the pumpkin, but I guess that's not happening anymore, so only the face will glow. The end. But well, maybe we can even darken it up to bring the glow brighter in front and push the tree more back into the background that way. Oh, but that's actually a good sign, and I'm already trying to thinking about the perspective and the shadows and stuff like that. So I think my brain's starting to warm up again. What's that? What's that? What's that? Confused. Should it be green? Is it a part of the tree or part of the pumpkin? It's part of the tree. Now. Now it is. Okay. Did we get all the trees? Yep. Nope. That should be darker. It's way back there. Oh, that's gonna be dark. Oh. Okay. Everything else. There. A little bit of tree left. Okay, more trees. Nope. Good. Okay, back to the fun part, I guess. Once again, push it to one side. Even if I won't do a glow at the end, it's easier to fix that, to get it darker than it is to get it lighter. As you can see, super careful. Ooh, the spine, the spine. Coloring in the spine, oh no. Not really. I don't mind. As I said, the edge is worse for me. Especially the bottom edge. No. So many pages of mine look a little frizzled at the bottom edge. Also, I think the background will be quite dark, so we can fix everything where I go over the lines. I hope. We will find a way to make it work. So, this stage is always super messy, as you can see. Also, it looks super patchy on the camera, as I just realized. It's not that bad. In reality, it's bad, but it's not that bad. Also, I haven't quite decided on the colors for the cats, but I will not put makeup on them, so they will have usual real life cat colors that I know. But okay, let's see. So here is not a bandage. Oops. Let me just pick up some color here. So here it goes through. Here too. I think the artist forgot some lines here, but we can add them later by ourselves. Yes. Okay. Also, I just realized that my sitting position It's really good when I'm coloring on camera, because then I'm actually sitting straight by trying not to get my face in the camera or my head in between. And if I'm coloring on my own, then I'm sitting here like the hunchback. I don't know. It's bad. So my doctor would be happy with me if I had a doctor for my back. So maybe I should color more on camera. What you think? Yes, as I say, I try to come back. I really try. I really want to come back to you, so it's not the point that I don't want to, but eh. Everyone that ever experienced a color block knows what I'm talking about. And I tried everything. I tried to start drawing again, and it worked for a little while. But yeah, that died on me too after, I think, 2 weeks, maybe 1 week. Nah, a little longer than 1 week, but yeah. I think that that's something that I really lost. So I was drawing a long time in my teenage years. When I was little, actually, I was always drawing and painting and stuff, but somehow I think that's something I lost. Because I feel like that my drawings did never come out the way I was planning it in my head. Or I started a drawing without completely thinking it through, and then it just looks like a mess at the end. So heads up to all the amazing artists out there. I don't know how you do it. And it always frustrated me. And I know it's all practice and stuff, but no. I liked it when I did it, but there was just always something that I wasn't happy with the end result. So also then, well, adult life came and I had to work and I moved far away from home, and then I didn't have the time anymore and I just laid it down and never came back. And yeah, I think that way I just lost it and it's gone forever. I don't see myself coming back to that, especially now that I have another pretty stressful job. It's just not the relaxing part for me to think it through completely. So what do I want to draw? How do I want to draw? The perspective, the proportion, stuff like this. The composition, it's also something you have to think when you draw. That's one point why I enjoy coloring that much, because all the thinking process somebody else did. I don't have to think about that anymore. It's just sitting and adding colors, and thinking of colors can even be hard. Like I said, I colored something on the side that at that point takes me for weeks already. And I was happy at the beginning when I started it and I had a plan in my mind. The problem was that I didn't plan the whole page out. And there is a lot of hair on that page. It's a portrait. And I figured the face colors, and they are not normal face colors. And then I realized, well, face looks good, but now there's about 70% of the page just hair. And I have not thought for a millisecond about hair color. And since I have chosen such an unusual face color, it completely blocked me for the hair color. And then I decided on one, and I started it, and it looked horrible. It was, wow, terrible. I hated it. And but because I burnished the page that bad already and blended it and tried to fix what I've done, there was no other way than to paint it all over with the infamous gouache paint that almost ruined my brush right here. But I think it recovered a little bit. So now, although the first initial idea was to give my portrait a very bright and light hair color, now she has a really, really dark hair color. And then the whole face color didn't match anymore. And then I had to think about how to fix that. And I don't think I have completely fixed it. Although I added more color and deepened the colors, and now it looks better than before. But yeah, now I'm stuck with a color that I wasn't planning on and that I don't actually love. But we are getting there. That's just sometimes how it happens. So, stretchy, stretchy. So, I think that's all the trees. Yes. I really want to start with the background, I think. I want to start with the background now. And I hope that my brush has recovered. Now that it has these really awesome purple tips to the blue body. But I jump now to this page again, so this has time to dry. As you can maybe see, it's already curling. Just bend it down a little bit, because I used a lot of water on this side. Just happy to get back. It will probably curl back up again, because the plan is to lay down Derwent inktense as a base for the complete page. If it curls up too much, I will just iron it back. So from the back side, I think, because most of the time when it will curl this way. So to iron, and when you iron it, it will always turn the direction where the heat comes from. So that side. But that's something, yeah, I'm doing with pretty much everything that I'm using a water-based base on it. Okay, am I brave enough? I think I'm brave enough. So, Sicilian yellow. I will not go on to the very middle. Because I can pull the colors in with the brush. Just color the outside. And I'm trying not to use too much pressure. And I have to try not to hit the purple tree later on, just in case it didn't dissolve completely. I don't want to smudge it in. So what do we take then? Sienna gold, I think. Very light-handed. Don't want any streaks. And really not too much laid down. Maybe to create a white outer border. We will see how that works. Just a tiny hint. Okay. No, no, not on the top edge. I don't like the edge. Okay. By the way, that's the hair color that I used on the other page, so very dark. So, let's see. It's clean as much as possible. Then I start with laying down some water in the middle just to prevent these harsh lines. Yeah, and there I hit the tree. But well, it is what it is. Okay. Now it's bad that it looks on camera so much brighter than in reality, because now you can barely see anything. Also, now it looks like the sun and not like the moon. But I mean, I can brighten it up later on with either pencil or, yeah, probably pencil, because maybe the Derwent Chinese white, it's pretty good white for me, or the Prisma white, so we can tidy that up later on. So, I think that's okay. Okay. What color scheme? Maybe this for the background. On my phone it looks a little more, how's it called? It's not that bright on my phone. It looks on the camera. It's a little more muted down, but I think I like that gray, beigey, browny. It's not usual, so I like that. And this is more in the Bordeaux reddish color than it looks on the camera right now. So I hope we can get that somehow. But I'm not sure if I have the right colors. I don't have that color in inktense. But I may have it in Neocolors. Give me a second. Okay, so let's see what we have here. And yes, I have the big set. And as you can see, it's so used. Not. Let's see. What do we have here? Maybe sepia. It's so weird for you, as you cannot see the real colors on my phone, but actually sepia is actually pretty close to it, although it looks for you like a rosy color, maybe clay rose, something, but it's actually quite close to this one, so that's weird. And maybe not the best comparison for you guys, but it works for me, so yeah, I think sepia. It looks for you really weird, what I'm picking right now, but Sepia, beige. I think it's quite okay. Now the issue is with the purple. Because for Neocolor, such a dark purple is not easy. Maybe aubergine could work. Okay. What else? Now we actually have a clay rose tone on this one. But of course we don't have it in the Neocolors. I don't want to mix. But it seems like I have to mix it. Okay. And gray. Which one? Silver gray is super bright. You can barely see it. And this is a gray. That's not a lavender. That's gray. Why is my camera like this? I can't put this saturation on 0. That's... Let me see. No, that's bad. This? Oh no, that's even... Ooh. Even worse. No, we can't get it. I think you have to just trust me. Trust me. Okay. Anyway, we will get it. Hopefully you can see it later on the actual page. So, bright gray. Now my office is starting to look like an absolute mess again because I absolutely did not bother to tidy up the rest that I have laying over there. So it's good that I have an almost 3-meter wide desk. So it basically goes from one wall to the other. It was absolutely fun to get the desk up here into the 3rd floor because it did not fit into the elevator. That was fun. What did I do here now? Why does it have a dent now? Huh? What did I do? I don't know if you can see, but there's a dent now. Okay, this page is already starting to get spooky. Okay. Anyway, maybe I should use something around the moon. Huh? Something a little yellowy would be a good idea. So let's take the brightest yellow that we have. It's pale yellow. And then let's see what. Also, give me 1 second. So is it better that way when we have a light source from both sides? I hope so. Also now it doesn't focus. That's great! How to mess up your recording in many steps. Okay, I hope it's good enough. Stop being stupid. It's not focusing. Great. Good. Well then, welcome to the fussy coloring of fossil. Yay. Okay. But now I'm a little afraid because that's quite a big space. And although I have the large water tank brush, it doesn't work properly. So the water flow is just not happening. and I don't like normal brushes when I use this, because I can't control the water flow as I'm used to. Therefore, I actually don't like them. I barely use normal brushes since I discovered the water tank brushes anyway. So I'm completely not used to use them anymore. It's also plus not. As you can see, I leave a little bit of white in between the moon and where I start to color. Okay, then how does this look? Yeah. How do I want it? I think I want the dark purple to come from here and fade out on this side. Brain crush. It's never been so hard for me to decide on these kind of stuff, but I think back down here I want it to be bright and then getting darker up. So let's start with the easy part, at least the part that I already decided on. And I think we have to mix a little bit later on. Unfortunately, I don't like that, but you can't always have the right colors. So very light, because I know I always have issues dissolving those properly. Sorry, I just had to take a phone call. I had to pause you for a second, and now I completely forgot what I was saying. So, yeah. Anyway, okay. So, now the spine thing, right? And I absolutely don't care. Grinch if you want. Woo. And actually, let's get that here so I can bend that over even more. If you can't see that, close your eyes. I will tell you when it's over. But that's just the easiest way to get in there. Bend it over something a little more elevated. Okay. It's over. You can look again. I'm throwing my stuff all over the place. After I reorganized my whole desk, there's a lot less space. Not wide, but to there. So the corner, the edge is pretty close now. But for working purposes, since I'm working in between in a home office, and it just killed my neck to always look at the corner over there while sitting this way. It just kills my back. So I had to reorganize it, because looking in the corner for hours was just, it's not a good thing to do. So okay, and that's gonna be very light, so kind of the opposite as the inktense worked, where you could see pretty much nothing while dry, and it pops out if you activate it. I feel like Neocolors work the other way. So for the bright colors, if you lay them down and you can see them a little bit, they will disappear after you activate it. That's something I'm really kind of have problems with Neocolors. I appreciate it, and I know that's just how they work, but sometimes I have a hard time working with how they work. But yeah. And I don't bother with this fence here. It's just too tiny. I don't care. Like I said, this color is so bright you won't see it later anyway, so who cares? Don't make yourself more work than you have to do. Good horse only jumps as high as it has to. I don't know if that's a saying that is worldwide, but it's definitely in Germany. Okay, so now let's go over there. So we have a kind of even line, kind of. Although on this side I want it to be darker anyway. Okay, then the next color. By now I already lost half the stuff that I used all over the place, but well. Beige is the next one, a little darker. I'm very curious how this will look later on, because that's the first time that I use kind of grayish colors for a sky. So we will see how that works out. And since the aubergine color that we will use later on is so dark, I think I will not use it directly on the page, because then I don't have the control that I want to and that I need to have, since I don't want to make it too dark. To make sure not to use too much, like I said, don't want it to be too dark in the beginning. You can still add later on, but not too much on the first layer. Look back again if you can't see the spine open forcefully. Okay. Okay, done. You can open your eyes again. And yes, I go over all these little branches too, because coloring around all of them with this very precise crayon, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not too much over here, since it should be bright from the moon. And then I think I start to work in a little bit of this sheen. I don't know how to call it. But now I have to figure out where the clouds start and where they end. I think here. Wow, that doesn't make sense. That already kills my brain again. Maybe I will just use the lines, but not the whole area, because as you can maybe see, if I say that's a cloud, okay, this one makes sense. It's a closed area. It's okay. So that means this is a closed area. Well, yeah, great. Good job. So that's a closed area. Let's try to make that a little brighter. Okay, but then we are missing here a line, but that's fine. Then we are missing here a line to make this a closed area, but this down here, if I set this this is a cloud, then this scribble doesn't make sense. I can't make it a closed line here, and I can't make it a closed one here because then it collides with this one. So this scribble doesn't make sense in my brain. With this one I can work, but I think this one, I don't know. We will find a way to work with it, but for now this is a closed part back here, and this is closed. Okay. This is closed. Now I'm just laying down for me to make it more recognizable for me where what goes. This is closed. It's just for orientation for me. Okay, so the white parts are closed. I think I will make them quite dark later on, because I mean clouds by night are pretty dark. Okay. Nah. What's this? If that's closed, then where's the line from here? Okay. I will pretend there is a line. Like this. Yeah. I think that could work. Thank God we don't have clouds over here. Also, fun thing, I can't color clouds. At least I think so. If you have a good idea how to color clouds, then just let me know. I haven't mastered them yet. Clouds are hard for me, and glass is hard for me. But I think glass is a kind of masterpiece that many of us struggle with. At least I hope so. No, I don't hope so. If you can color glass like a pro, then yay! Tell me your secret. I know there are a lot of tutorials, but somehow, I don't know why, but I just can't look through all of them. I always color it like first thing that comes to mind. So this is sepia. Now we have to be very careful not to lay it down too harsh. Because as the more you get to the darker colors, the harder it is to dissolve it evenly without you seeing the scribble lines later on. So very light-handed and hope for the best. Just pray for the best. Always forget. And please don't ask me why I don't just use two papers. I don't know. Yeah, I think here should be ground, right? Not sky. Although this looks like sky, but it wouldn't make sense. Okay, get it darker here. Darker here. Don't I have like a kind of reddish? No, I'm getting crazy, I know. Maybe this one, but that's very red. But if we mix it anyway, maybe we can... maybe we can use it anyway. But like I said, I will not use those colors on the paper directly. What was it? Sienna. Sepia, not sienna. Sepia. Sepia. Okay. will be quite dark on this side of the page. And then getting lighter over there. At least I hope so. Okay. Now it's gonna be killing the beige color a little bit, but we will see. That's gonna be a fun part to redo it all with pencils, because I don't feel that I get a result that I want with only Neocolor. They won't be dark enough for me at the end. But at first I have to lay down the base just to see where I'm going, to get myself set up a little bit more. That's gonna be hard to dissolve, I know. With this one I don't go into the spine that hard, because I will just shove it with a brush into there. Skies are always also one thing that I haven't thought in the beginning that would be so hard to color, but to get a really smooth and nice and beautiful sky, I think it's so tricky, it's so hard. Back to beige, because I think we will lose it a little bit with the sepia. Just get it in a little stronger. And the light gray, to get it mixed a little more. Okay, I think the rest should be purple, reddish, whatever. So let's see if we can do this with a medium-sized brush. Like I said, my biggest one doesn't work as it should, but this time make sure it's clean. Okay, let's start here. Let's start here. See what happens. Okay. Like I said, grays and browns. Not the usual sky color. Forget it. Let's just color it in. We can darken it later on. And once again, it looks way lighter on camera than it is in real life. Is that better? At least it's darker. And now I think at least the purple is more true now. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I should work from bottom to top. But yeah, why doing it right? If you could do it wrong, right? Definitely interesting color for a sky. And as you can see, I cover it completely, and I will work the purplish reddish color later on into the mix that we have here. I think it's easier for me than try to incorporate it now beforehand, before I see the real color that we already have now. And yeah, it's way too bright, but like I said, I use the base just as a guideline for me, just to get an idea. That's not the finished product at the end. Just for me to better understand where the page is going, where the color is going. And this is not intended to be the finished result by any means. So it's all right. Although it's way too bright. It should be night and not a rainy day. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. But yeah, now I like the trees on camera way more now that I turned down the brightness. It's looking way more than as like it really looks for me. And I try now to go already into the direction a little bit without touching the stupid tree. But yeah, it will not work completely. But dab it a little bit to get a little bit of texture already. Now I try to work from bottom to top because I want it to be bright at the bottom. As if night would care about bottom and top, but let's pretend. So right now it just looks like a super rainy Halloween. Not like darkness, but we will get there eventually. Okay, don't care about the lines. Concentrate, concentrate. I don't know why I'm concentrating right now. That's not a very difficult part now. I just have to be careful with the amount of water that I use to not destroy the paper. At least hopefully. But this paper actually takes water pretty good. So I'm not quite sure what it is, but the paper is relatively smooth, but it takes water very good. It's not a watercolor paper by any means, but for example, the Kirby books, when I use that much water as I'm using right now, it gets these little stupid little dots that are soaking in the pigment and the water like crazy, and then your page is looking like it has a disease or something. I mean, I don't bother with that, but I can absolutely see why some people really don't like that. But this paper, like pro, all good. And not all Kirby books have this issue, at least for me. I heard already that there's a difference if you have the US version or the UK version. Since I'm in Germany and I don't really know what versions I have, I don't really care about that. I try to work with whatever paper I have instead of, no, I want that version, I want that version. Also, since Book Depository closed, I'm not sure if I receive any UK versions nowadays, but I don't care. Also, I haven't bought any or that much coloring books since they closed anyway. I bought the new Henna Karlsson, the Atlantis one, but that came from Denmark, so I'm not sure what kind of version that is, what kind of paper that is, and I haven't colored in that book. Of course not. I mean, having it is enough, right? You don't have to color it. Okay, let's see where my yellow is. Let's try to push it back from the moon a little bit. Just not to smudge the gray into the glow that we want. Oh, there was house. Okay. Maybe not color there yet. Oh, you can't even see anything. Why don't you scream? Scream at me. Okay. But I mean, you can barely see anything. To be fair, this time I can barely see anything too. So we're on the same page there. Okay, good. So that's that. Let me just grab my palette and then I will be back. 1 second. Okay, back again. As you can see, pretty clean. Not? But let's see. Okay, this red stuff. And this purple stuff. So that's Crimson Alicerine hue. And the other one is Aubergine. And let's even get some dark to mix, maybe. Maybe a little beige, we will see. I don't have an idea what's happening. And let's try to get it mixed with pretty much water, so I don't have a extremely dark color to begin with. I think a little more reddish. Let's see what this does. Be brave. Now I will have these harsh lines. I know that, but for now that's fine for me. Let's try to make sure that you can see anything. Would be great. And now I'm just throwing it in. I have not planned this and haven't thought about where should go what color and stuff like that. Just getting it in, throwing it there. Like I say, skies. I'm not the best with skies. Just do what feels natural, and if my nature is a little different than the real nature, then it is what it is. Okay. Looks weird already, but trust the process, I guess. And if you are thinking right now, Oliha, what is she doing? I don't know. But please don't panic. I'm afraid myself. So, I don't know. I don't know. We're just rolling with it. Sometimes that's the fun part, right? Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And if you have no idea what to do, then you just do anything just to do anything. Because sitting there paralyzed and thinking like crazy will not get you any results, neither good or bad. So just do whatever. We said that was a cloud. So like this. It looks so well. Too much purple. Yes, this looks horrendous, I know, but we will get there eventually. Maybe not. So I think that's the first time you really see me struggle on camera, but that's just how it works sometimes. And that's actually the good part of using the Neocolors. I can dissolve the harsh lines later on, so that's good. That would not work with inktense. Absolutely not. Because they are just not made for that. If you work with inktense, you have to know what you want to do. There's no way to change it later on. Okay. Let's try to feather this out a little bit. Maybe get a tiny bit of definition in here. Okay, then go back in and darken it all up a little bit. Or get it a little deeper in color. It's already not turning out as I imagined it, but like I said, just roll with it, trust the process. Maybe we will get something that we like at the end. Okay, now I throw in a little bit of sepia too. Now it's getting muddy, but let's see. A little more red here and there. And yes, I have to iron the page later on. It's warping up already, pretty heavy. Or it's beginning to warp up pretty heavy. A little more purple. A little more red. Looks terrible, I know. So at least, like I said in the beginning, if you see this hot mess, then it turned out somehow at the end how I actually like it and say, okay, I can show you that. And if we mess around here too much, then you will never see it anyway. So there's that. If you see this, it will turn out good. At least I think that it looked good enough to show you in the first place. That's a plus. But this will take so much time to fix, to get in there. But at least I can already see where we are going with it. I think that's good. Now we can go in with the red a little more heavy, since I think the red is the color to go for this. There's gonna be a lot of pencil work later on, but we will not do this in this episode for sure, since we are heading strongly to the 2-hour mark already. And in a moment I have to let the paper dry for a few minutes, just to take the stress off the paper a little bit more. Since I don't want it to suffer any more than it as it has to. Okay, so leave the red for a second. We just bring in some more sepia. Get darker, more contrast, just to see where we are now. Then I think we have to bring in some dark gray, because with the brown we will not achieve the color that we want, or the darkness that we want. It's gonna be a hot mess at the end, but we don't care, do we? I mean, I care, yes. I don't want to show you anything that I don't like. I admit. Okay, let me bring in, what do we make? What do we make? Pines Gray. Pines Gray. A lot of it, actually. It looks so patchy. Can we maybe just... Thanks. For the look that I want, I feel that I would have to add so much more water to this, and I don't want to, so that's gonna be a struggle. But I don't think, although the paper handles this here very well, but the amount of water that I would have to use would be too much. That can't handle it. That's too much. I can already see that it starts to struggle up here, so I think we are at the point where I have to let it dry for a few minutes before we get back to it. Because at this point I'm just shoving around the paint and don't get any results anymore. So I think it's the point where I have to stop for a second. And up here it's too bright. But I think you can see in a second that I will shove the paint away again. Yeah. As soon as I touch it, it's gonna get brighter, as you can see here. So the paper doesn't handle it anymore. And it's warping really bad. But, and that's something that we have to fix later on with pencils. Just try to get a little bit more of a transition here. Whoop, without shoving the paint around. So yeah, but that's a base that I can work with, although the surface will be a little bit more rough afterwards. That's something you have to consider later on when you go in with the pencils. And so at this point, let me show you. Okay, I mean, you can see where I'm going, right? So, as I said, I will leave it here for a few minutes for the paper to relax and to dry, and then we will come back and we will play around for a few more minutes, and then I will send you to a break until the next part. But for now, just give it a dry, and I will go and grab a coffee. See you soon. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, and also I pinned down the page just to help it calm down or lay down. That's also something I do regularly just to help the paper stay flat. It will not prevent it completely, but it will help. Okay, then I think the dark gray worked quite good to get a little bit more depth to it, so I will keep going with that. And we will see where we go from here. Now it's actually a little bit of concentrating right here to not get it too dark, not get it too smudgy and stuff, but I don't think that works out for me at the moment. So we will roll with whatever comes. And now I just jump between dark gray, sepia, and the red. Also, I have a stupid fly in here. So if you see me throw everything and jump off, then I'm on the hunt for the fly. It's annoying. So I know that's gonna be a cloud, but the clouds will be very dark. Very dark. And also, I hope in the background you can't hear the noise from the people outside mowing grass and cutting hedges and stuff. They are just a tiny bit annoying too today. Since it's not one neighbor here, but it's a company that are responsible for all the hedges and all the grass around here. And when they come in big. So, wow, that wasn't a cloud, that's the cloud. Well, no, it isn't anymore. Okay. Yeah, I think definition and stuff will be with pencils later on. I will not bother the Neocolors just because of the paper. Don't want to destroy it. And so I think that's gonna be pencil work later on. So that means it will look patchy as heck, but I think we can fix that later on. It's turning out more red than I planned, but we will get there eventually. Okay, then a little bit of beige on the palette. I don't think I have to show you that, right? And a little bit of gray, because we're getting down here now, where it shouldn't be that dark. Gray. Beige. Sepia. It's out there, so annoying. I mean, I know they just have to do their work, but can't their work be a little bit more quiet? Like, can't they just take one of these little nail scissors and do it that way? I wouldn't bother if they are here for a year as long as they are quiet. Also, I didn't think our hedges are too high anyway. But I guess doesn't count what I think. Unfortunately. Sepia running out. At this point I have to remember getting lighter. Not going in too heavy. But I have to admit, at this point, I hate how it looks. I have to admit. But the magic of coloring. Work on it until it looks good. Don't give up. Heavy words from somebody who wasn't able to color in months at this point. But yeah. It's basically it. Just work on it until it looks good, or you throw it in the trash. Oh, and I hope you can't hear my stomach growling. Tiny bit hungry. Just the tiniest bit. But it's not dinner time. And it's over lunchtime. So I have to wait a few hours. Because I don't know. I'm a person that only eats once a day. No, that's weird for some people. But I just can't eat breakfast. I don't know why. As soon as I get up, my body demands coffee in the morning, 1 cup. But eating, no. don't need. Then most of the time, lunchtime, I'm just working straight through. And then I'm cooking for dinner most of the time. Yeah, that was exactly next to the line. That's, wow. Very precise next to everything. Don't think too hard. Just let it flow. No, it doesn't look good by any means, but let's see how it goes. And at this point, I also don't know what to talk about. I'm sorry. And I'm just going over the branches just because I find it too hard to work around it and then make it look like it was still one piece. So I just color over it. Okay, then once again with the gray down here. A bit of beige. Hard to tell if I like it or not. You probably hate it. And I can absolutely feel you. No, too wet. It's too wet paper. Because then, for some reason, the color doesn't grab to the paper. As you can see, I'm just shoving it around. Again, I feel like in this book, that's a sign for leave that space alone for a little bit. Change to somewhere else. Come back later. And goes back to the same area. Great. All right. Sorry, I just forgot to talk. In the zone. But really, like I said, I really don't know what to say right now. So enjoy the silence. Because I will not put in any music because I actually don't know how to deal with all the royalty-free stuff. And I don't feel like mm, reading into that at the moment. Maybe one day, but for now, nah, not interested, thank you. Too complicated. And also I have the feeling like you can just do wrong. I feel there's no way to do it right, so yeah. Silence it is sometimes. And yeah. Now I'm just darken up some spots that I feel like I forgot for some reason. Where's my gray? It's so bright and so light that I can barely see it on my palette. So we're getting into the brighter spaces. Oh gosh, it looks so terrible on camera. I mean it looks terrible in person too, but ooh, ooh, on camera it's bad. So if you're still with me and looking at this mess, then thank you. And I think I will just end the base on this side. It will take me a few minutes, and then I will leave it there for this part. Although that's the worst part I've ever put out there. It's nothing pretty to look at, and I'm apologizing for that, but sometimes you just have to look at the messy stuff too. Because sometimes coloring isn't always directly the pretty stuff. Sometimes you have to work for the pretty stuff first. Sometimes it's just a mess, and this video is just a mess. That's it. It's just a freaking mess. So there you have it. Nothing pretty to look at for today. I hope the next one will be better, will be more satisfying and more beautiful, and I don't know, but at least then the background is out of the way, unless I decide to do the pencil work in the next part, and then you have to look at this horrendous background for another eternity. Already sorry for that, if that might be the case. Maybe it would be a good idea for the next part first to figure out what I want to do with the pencil work before I start recording, instead of just figuring it out as I go and make you look through all of this hot mess. What's that? No, that's blue from the last whatever page I've done. That's wrong. It's gray. So yeah, let me know if you're okay with looking for a whole episode of total mess and seeing me struggle like this. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. Or if you would prefer, next time I just do a few minutes of messing around and then shut the camera off and try to figure out what I'm doing here and then come back to you. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, but that's just how it is. Sometimes. So. Wow, damn. Looks even worse on camera. Where's dark gray? Dark gray. Because this tiny bit of, in comparison, tiny bit of sky takes much longer than I thought. But I mean, when I saw the picture that I used for this color scheme that I absolutely did not follow, but as an idea, I know what a hard time I have on coloring multicolor skies. And I knew already that I would struggle with this, but I wanted to try it anyway. I mean, if it all turns out completely horrible, I mean, for real, then I will bring out the black acrylic paint all over all of it, and then just make it a sky with stars. That's it. But I wanted to give it a try at this point. We will see how it turns out at the end. You will see it, hopefully. But I still hope that we can fix this mess somehow and make it look pretty and as it was intended in the first place. But yeah, like I said, there's always the option to just bring out the heavy guns and just cover it all with black acrylics or black wash paint and just throw in white spots as stars, and then you have it. It's the simplest, the simplest nighttime sky that you can imagine, but sometimes it's just not what you want to do. So there's always a plan B if plan A doesn't work. But I will not give up on this. Still, there's still room that you can do something and that you can save and rescue it one way or another. And I am not seeing this as a completely failure yet. Still room for more mess, but yeah. At this point, I'm not giving up yet. Although it looks like a hot mess, and it is a hot mess, it's not the end of the world. And so yeah, I think let's play a little bit more here. This should be dark. once again, I think this paper is also too smooth to grab the color and fix it where it is. So beige. And also I'm not bothering with this line here. I want the head to be black anyway, so don't care. I don't care. Okay, this will look terrible. But you get the drift. Sometimes that's just what coloring is. Messy. And there is a whole lot of space that I just completely forgot. Great. But I think that's gonna be something that I would do off camera. Since it's time to let it dry in the first place, and in the second place we're all already over 2 hours again, so that's usually the length where I let you go for your day. And thank you so much for watching. As I said, maybe not the quality today that you are used to, but this is first of all the comeback after months of not really coloring, especially not working with these kind of medium like inktense and neocolors, and they always were a little bit difficult for me. I'm by any means no pro with neocolors, especially Derwent inktense works better for me, but I don't have the colors that I needed here, and they are way too bright to do something like this. But also coming back from heck, I don't know what to do. So, yeah. And at this point, I would say I will leave it here. First of all, this paper has a lot of drying to do now. And let's see from above if it looks any better. I mean, at least you can see where I'm getting. What's the idea is. I think it looks pretty horrible, but not just in the how it's done, but also in the Halloweeny vibe, like the bloody red sky, maybe a little too red. I'm not sure. We will see if I change that. But we messed around for almost 2 hours. I thanking you once again if you stuck with me till this point where there's actually just nothing beautiful happened. But we will go from here, and I hope that you will see this video, because that means we finished this thing, and that you will join me in the next part of this one, and I hope it will be going better than it did right now. So thanks for watching, and I see you next time. Bye!